Hello everyone, welcome to another series of To The Point and I am Sonali. Today's topic of discussion is passive funds. First of all, let's see why is it in the news. The market regulator recently issued a circular on passive funds. It covers matters related to transparency, liquidity and operational aspects of exchange-traded funds, that is ETFs and index funds. These provisions were to come into effect from 1st July 2022. Now moving on to the key highlights. The Securities and Exchange Board of India, that is SEBI, has introduced a passive equity-linked savings schemes, that is ELSS category. It will give taxpayers another investment option to avail of tax benefits. According to the circular, the passive ELSS scheme will be based on one of the indices comprising equity shares from the top 250 companies in terms of market capitalization. A fund house will be able to either have an active ELSS scheme or a passive ELSS scheme, but not both. Now let's discuss about passive funds. Passive funds mimic an underlying index, while active funds are actively managed by fund managers. A passive fund tracks a market index or a specific market segment to determine what to invest in. Normally, passive funds are cheaper to invest in than active funds. In active funds, the fund manager spends time researching and analyzing opportunities to invest in. Tracker funds such as ETFs, that is exchange traded funds, and index funds fall under the banner of passive funds. Norms for debt ETFs are: passive debt funds are now divided into three categories. Corporate debt funds with exposure to corporate bonds, G-Sec funds investing in government securities, and hybrid funds where allocation is a combination of corporate bonds and government securities. Currently, debt funds in the passive category invest only in AAA-rated instruments. The SEBI circular introduces norms for each debt fund category, including portfolio exposure limits to each sector, the issuer, and group. Application of these provisions should help mitigate concentration risk in debt, ETFs, or index funds. As per SEBI's circular, passive funds must disclose tracking error and tracking difference in their monthly fact sheets. This indicates how different the performance of the fund is compared to its underlying index. Now moving on to the significance. The net asset value, that is NAV, of the fund represents the value of the underlying asset of the ETF. The SEBI circular mandates disclosure of NAV on a continuous basis throughout the day on the stock exchange. While the practice is already in existence, SEBI rules institutionalize it. Checking the NAV can help one avoid making a transaction at a significant premium or discount. Now it's time for the practice question. Consider the following statements. 1. Passive funds mimic an underlying index. 2. Passive funds are cheaper to invest in than active funds. Which of the above mentioned statement or statements is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2? Send the answer of this question in the comment section. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Dear viewers, watch this topic in Hindi on our Drishti IAS Hindi YouTube channel.